Power Records presents The Mark of the Man-Wolf. The amazing Spider-Man has many friends, but Jonah Jameson, publisher of the powerful Daily Bugle, isn't one of them.
What is this, Robertson? Be kind to criminals day?
Now, Jonah, all I said was we'd better be sure about our facts before we publicly condemn Spider-Man. If it turns out he is innocent...
Innocent? Maybe you don't understand, Robertson. A man has been killed, a man who happened to be a good friend of mine, and I believe that wall-crawling menace is responsible. I know it. So get this, Robertson. Since I can't hire someone to bring that killer in, I intend to see justice done another way, by making the public demand his capture at once.
I'm only your city editor, Jonah, but I think you're making a grave mistake.
Wait a second, Robbie. We've got company.
I'll talk to you later then, Jonah.
Hi, Dad. Thought I'd drop by to pick you up for dinner. It's time you met my fiancée, Christine Saunders.
Fiancée? Well, I must say, it's about time. We were finished, weren't we, Robbie?
If you say so, Jonah. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Sorry, Robbie. This is my son, John. John's just retired from astronautics. He was one of the last men to make a moonwalk. Son, this is Joe Robertson, my city editor.
Glad to meet you, John.
Same here, Mr. Robertson. Sorry we've got to rush off.
Moments later in the hall outside.
Dad, would you excuse me a moment?
John, are you all right, son? You're white as a sheet and you're trembling.
I'm sorry, Dad. Got a touch of the flu.
The flu? You better take care of yourself, John.
Like I said, Dad, sorry. I've been under a strain. I'd better get home.
Later this same evening, in a brownstone overlooking the Hudson River, a door opens, releasing a sliver of yellow light and the stumbling form of a young man.
Nothing I can do. It's happening again. I'm changing.
And in several seconds, we see before us a man-wolf. Whoever was present in this creature a moment ago is gone. Now there is only an animal, seeking someone. It runs through the darkness. Now and then it climbs and leaps from roof to roof as it hunts its quarry. And that quarry is man, one particular human. A head, the man-wolf thinks. The one I hunt is a head. One final leap, and he looks across at the human being he seeks. And in one sleek motion, the man-wolf leaps.
What in the name of heaven? Who are you and what's the meaning of this? Do you realize who I am? The name is Jonah Jameson, my friend, and I'll have you know J. Jonah Jameson is not the kind of man to be amused by some sort of infantile joke. I demand an explanation for this ridiculous costume. I'm warning you.
It is then, of course, that Jameson realizes the creature before him is not wearing a costume. And it is then, naturally, that J. Jonah Jameson becomes afraid. And by then, you see, it's already far too late.
Good Lord in heaven! No!
We hate to leave J. Jonah Jameson at a time like this. But a few minutes earlier, in another part of the city, Peter Parker, boy student, who is otherwise known as Spider-Man, is passing a newsstand. One glimpse of the Daily Bugle and...
That does it. This time Jameson's gone too far. The Spider-Man Menace, a new series by J. Jonah Jameson. Every time something happens in this town, Jameson blames me. According to Mr. Warmth, Spider-Man should be hunted down like a mad dog. Innocent till proven guilty. Remember that, Jameson? That's supposed to be the way we live. Why don't you leave me alone, Jameson? Why don't you leave me alone? I've had it, Jameson. You want me guilty? You've got it. I'll show you a menace, Jameson. You just better hope your insurance is paid up, buddy. Because, mister, you're gonna need it. I never asked to be bitten by that blasted radioactive spider. But I was, JJJ. And I've tried to make the best of it. But you just won't see that, will you? Maybe after tonight you'll be a little saner, JJJ. Maybe after you get a taste of what my webbing can really do, you'll leave me alone.
In some people, anger can burn for hours. But in others, it lasts only a minute or two. That's the way it is with Spider-Man, sometimes. Luckily for J. Jonah Jameson, this is one of those times. By coincidence, Spider-Man seems to have arrived at Jameson's apartment just at the right moment.
Now, that's a kick in the head. Either Jameson's taken to keeping pets or I just saw a werewolf.
Spider-Man, you're in this too.
In case you hadn't noticed, Williams, I just saved your life. Say, Jonah, I didn't think you were so lovable. I'd say White Fang here had a grudge against you. Think about it, Jameson. Have you insulted any werewolves lately? me a bit. I've been spoiling for a good fight, and it's about time I... Oh!
Our hero isn't faring too well. Look out, Spider-Man! Look out! Spider-Man, unconscious. It wouldn't be fair to call Jonah Jameson a coward, but at this moment, he is frightened halfway to death, but not frightened enough to resist a snarling man-wolf.
What do you want with me? Why me? I've never done anything to you. Never attacked you. Why did you pick me?
As though in answer, the man-wolf backs off, and Jameson's eyes draw downward, and he sees what he has not seen before. Man stares at Wolf, and Wolf stares in turn, and something passes between the two. A wordless communication, a plea for help. Then, without another sound, the man-wolf springs from the window, leaving behind him one very quiet, middle-aged entrepreneur and a slowly stirring Spider-Man.
Jonah? What happened to Tall, Dark, and Hairy? Don't tell me you beat them all by your lonesome. If that gets out, we'll have to put you up against the heavyweight champ. Say, what's the deal, Jameson? Where are those snappy comebacks?
You're not going after him, Spider-Man. I won't allow it.
You won't what? After that character tried to kill you?
That doesn't matter. It's not important. If you attack him, I'll make you pay, you wall-crawling menace.
Look, I'm not your biggest fan, but that monster...
Spider-Man, I swear to you, if you move one muscle against that creature, I'll report this as an attempt on my life by you. Am I clear?
Loud and clear. Next time, remind me not to play Good Samaritan. Some people have a weird sense of gratitude.
Grateful? How can I be grateful to the man I hate most in the world? How can I be grateful when the mad killer he saved me from is my son?
Hours pass. The man-wolf leaps and lunges from roof to roof, searching. It can sense its prey. It seems like no other the man-wolf has ever sought. The one who attacked me, who sought to kill me. He is there. The one who must die.
Funny. We started this evening all knotted up. Now I feel kind of loose. It was the fight with the man-wolf. Somehow it released all my tensions, worked out all my anger. Almost. I can dig the world.
You spoke too soon, Spider-Man. Too soon.
Oh, no, not the man-wolf again. What are you doing here? If you're looking for a fight. Look out! You're pushing us over the edge. We're gonna fall. Last week, that crummy newspaper of his, but even J. couldn't pay a man to go this far, not to the point of suicide. For real, Bucky, it doesn't quite explain why you want to attack me.
But then, as our puzzled hero chances to glance down at his struggling assailant.
Wait a minute. I see it before. But where? I can't remember where. Huh? Whoops. I blew it. Lost my attention, my grip, and next on the list is my life.
But a new element is added to the picture.
The moon. It's setting. And the unholy legends. That means you're due for a transformation. Just as I thought. As soon as you realize what's going to happen when the moon goes down, you split. Sorry. You're not getting off that easy. Suddenly, you've caught my interest with that pendant thing. And there's no way I'm letting you slip out of my hands until... I thought the knock on the head you gave me a couple of hours ago in Jameson's pad. Oh, my head. Come on, Parker, you've got to snap out of it. You've got to think. Where have you seen that pendant before? Where?
Though he isn't aware of it, our hero is on the right track, and so is a certain publisher.
This is my son's apartment. All I can do is pray that I'm wrong. John? Son, are you there? Blasted boy, answer me! Oh, dear Lord, that costume. I'd recognize it anywhere. It's true, then. My son is a man-wolf. John! John, wake up! I demand an explanation, at once!
Dad, is that you?
Of course it's me, John. And I'm alone. Now, will you tell me what's happened to you? What sort of insanity?
I wish I were insane, Dad. It'd be easier to accept than this.
For a moment, Jonah J. Jameson stares at the man he calls his son. And when he speaks again, his voice is softer.
Tell me, John. Please. I want to help.
If only you could. There's nothing you or anyone can do. This is my nightmare. I've got to get out of it myself, just as I got into it, all by myself. It all started 6 months ago at Cape Canaveral with the takeoff of a special unscheduled moon flight. It was the same as the previous public on earth, I had a friend who worked in the quarantine center. With a little coaxing, I got him to borrow the moon rock for me. I had my rock made into a pendant, and I took to wearing it around my neck. Didn't think much about it at first, until one night I was taking the turnpike up to New York for a late dinner date with my fiancée, Christine. Something happened to me. Something inexplicable. That's funny. Suddenly I feel tired, exhausted. Mustn't be getting enough sleep. Either that or it's this blasted night driving. It wasn't the night driving. It was the moon. The sudden light touched me. I glanced up, and it was then that it began. The pendant, glowing, something about the moon. Lord in heaven, what's happening to me? Every month since then, I've been transformed. And to date, none of my efforts to stop that transformation have succeeded. Not even the radiation suit I had made to cut out the lunar rays. The first time I wore it, last night, the suit came apart. Just like my chances to see this madness through alive.
Don't talk like that, son. It's obvious you haven't thought this out at all. Why not just take off the pendant?
Don't you think I've thought of that, Dad? I have tried to remove the stone, but it's too late. It's grafted itself to my skin, permanently.
7 hours have passed.
7 hours. And now it's time to get on the trail of the man-wolf.
In another part of the city, at that certain brownstone, we find...
It's not like John to ignore a date. I hope he isn't sick. He has been acting oddly these past few weeks. That's funny. And I can hear the bell ringing upstairs. And if that isn't John up in the window, I need glasses. He wants to pretend I'm not here? All right, I'm not here.
And upstairs.
Now it's your turn, Dad. Better leave. Something changes in me when I become that thing. I want to hurt the people I love, like Christine, and like you.
Now, son, if you're trying to tell me the reason you attacked me was to kill me, that's utter nonsense. You wanted my help, don't you see that, John? And you couldn't stop yourself, your animal self, from...
Meanwhile, a few blocks away, Spider-Man starts on his moonlight journey. Hurry, Spider-Man, hurry!
Great, what a good night's sleep can do. I almost feel like myself again. Now, what was going through my mind? A pendant. A pendant. Hey, wait a minute. My subconscious must have been working overtime because it just put 2 and 2 together and came up with 4. That costume the man-wolf was wearing, it wasn't fabric. It was some sort of insulation material, the kind used on spacesuits for astronauts. And it just hit me who I know that has an astronaut's son. And who was attacked by a werewolf in astronaut clothing? J. Jonah Jameson.
A quick glance in the Manhattan telephone directory tells our hero what he needs to know, and so...
Maybe I'll have some good luck for a change. Bingo! Looks like I've hit the jackpot. It's the man-wolf. Here we go again, Wolfie. This time, I have a theory to try out. It's my guess that pendant is what's making you a werewolf. And so it has to come off, even if I have to tear it off.
Spider-Man, what's happening to him? He's changing.
Dear Lord, I didn't realize. The pendant had grafted itself onto his skin.
The transformation begins, and the identity of the monster becomes apparent. All too painfully apparent.
John, son, are you all right?
He's just fine, Jameson, now that this thing's off him. Better get him a doctor, though. Fast.
Doctor? What? The publicity?
Publicity? Your son's life was at stake, not to mention the lives of people he might have killed. Let's hope we stopped him in time.
Johnny, are you okay? Mr. Jameson, is he okay?
Answer her, Jameson. Tell her everything's real swell. Maybe someday you'll even begin to believe it yourself.
Spider-Man, wait!
Save it for the papers, Jonah. Save it for tomorrow.
And so ends another adventure of the amazing Spider-Man.
Power Records presents The Fantastic Four, The Way It Began. What is a nightmare? The dictionary tells us it is a terrifying dream, a nightmare. That is what Benjamin J. Grimm enters as he sees
Susie, murdered by Dr. Doom.
Ben, my darling, what is it? What's wrong?
Alicia, baby, you don't want to know. But I got me some business to take care of fast. Turn around, Doom. I want you to see what's gonna happen to you. For what you did to Susie. When Brother Benji gets through with you, you'll... Yow! It ain't possible! I went right through him! Right! Now Doc Doom's fading away, like a bad TV picture. And Sue's already long gone. What in blazes?
I thought you'd already have guessed by now, Ben.
What? Who?
Now, you really disappoint me, old friend. I should think you would have caught on by now.
Reed! What's with you, Stretcho? What's up?
You see, Ben, you accidentally interrupted a very serious scientific experiment.
What kind? You trying to see what it takes to scare me to death?
Hardly. This is the new improved version of my thought projector helmet. I had to test its power by concentrating on the most repulsive scene I could imagine.
So you thought of Doc Doom killing Susie, huh?
Looks like some other interested parties are about to arrive. Hey, Ben, what's the buzz anyhow? I heard shouting and a crash.
You couldn't have taken the long way around.
Uh-oh. Here come your real better half, Stretcho. And it looks like she's on the warpath.
Johnny Storm, you flame off and come down here this minute.
If I were you, kid, I'd listen to the lady.
I'm not you, Reed, but here I come.
What do you think you're doing?
But sis, I was only...
And don't you talk back to me.
You tell him, boss lady.
Now be fair, honey. Johnny didn't mean anything. After all, he just thought someone was in danger and he was eager to help, so... Now, why are you looking at me like that?
Because it's already 1 p.m., Mr. Reed Richards, and we have an appointment.
Oh, no. I forgot.
Alicia, baby, about our getting married and all. I've been thinking maybe we should get to know each other a little better first.
If Alicia's got half the smarts I think she does, Granite Puss, she'll be the one who'll do the waiting, like for about 100 years.
Why, you wet-nosed, walking weenie roast? Oh!
You're what, big boy?
Yow! That ain't cute, buddy boy. And neither is what's gonna happen to you.
Johnny, Ben, cut it out.
Tell him to quit, leader man. No, on second thought, I'll tell him myself. Like this. Hey, what the devil?
Look out, Stretcho. We're gonna... Ah!
No, don't! Stop it, both of you! Stop right now! What's gotten into you?
Sue, we didn't mean...
We just got carried away.
Don't blame them, Sue. We've all been under such a strain lately. I think all this togetherness is starting to get on everybody's nerves.
What are you trying to say, darling?
Just this, that maybe it's time we all had a vacation from each other for a while. Come on, honey. We'll talk about it.
Of course, Reed, darling.
Sheesh. Did you see all that mush stuff, Alicia? Oops. I could cut my tongue out, baby. I shouldn't have said see. It's just that, well, you get around so good and all, sometimes I almost forget that you're...
Blind? I wish I could. But you mustn't feel sorry for me.
Yeah, come on. I'll walk you home.
Ben, dear, once in a while a girl wants to be alone. I let myself out.
Nuts!
Now what's wrong, Gruesome?
Just this, Sonny.
Okay, so what was all that about?
Just a little demonstration, kiddo. I'm the thing, ain't I? Biggest, strongest bozo this side of the Hulk, right? But what good's it do me if I can't make Alicia see again? What's a brat like you know about love, anyhow?
What do I... Well, now, that really tears it. You big lump, I'm getting fed up.
Who cares?
I'm leaving. I've had enough insults.
Hey, wait!
Johnny, where are you going, son?
Someplace where I'm treated like a man, not just a kid with an all-over hotfoot. And don't call me son!
Sue, I'm worried about your brother. He hasn't been himself.
I know it's true.
I wonder why.
Some swinging superhero I am. The closest thing I got to a friend in the world outside of Reed, and I gotta shoot off my mouth and send him packing. Still, long as I'm alone and all, maybe I need me a little distraction, like this thought projector gizmo of Reed's. Hey, what do you know? It fits. Goody. Let's see now. I'll douse the lights first. Then just to test it out, I'll think the most repulsive thing I can, the most revolting thing I can think of, is me. Hey, that's me. When I first turned into the thing, way back when. And here I am today. Maybe I ain't as lumpy, but I'm still just a thing. Say, what? That's me too. The Ben Grimm I used to be before. Yeah, before. Funny, but I got this sudden urge to see the way it was. The way the so-called Fantastic Four got its start. Let's see now. First thing I can remember is an evening several years back. The four of us was together even then. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it plain as day.
Then you want no part of my plan, Ben?
What plan? Some harebrained scheme to beat the rest of the world into space? Count me out. You know better than I do. The shields on that ship you helped build ain't enough to keep out cosmic rays. We just get ourselves killed. You want to be the big man? You pilot the ship. Yeah, that's how it was, all right. At least, what I remember is happening.
Ben, you know we've got to take the chance. Do you want some foreign power to beat America to the moon?
Let 'em.
I never thought you would turn out to be a coward, Ben Grimm.
Nobody calls me a coward. Show me that ship. I'll fly her, no matter what happens. It seems like 1,000,000 years ago, but I can still remember the wild ride to that secret base.
Susan, Ben and I know what we're doing. But you and Johnny...
Reed, where you go, I go.
And I'm tagging along with Sis, so it's settled.
Reed's ID got us past the gate and the guards. After all, nobody figured that the guy who designed the so-called pocket rocket would be the one who would hijack it.
Well, Ben, everything is A-OK.
Yeah, until we hit the cosmic rays. Nobody knows what'll happen then, not even you. Yeah, we did it. We were first in outer space. Big, hairy deal. Then suddenly it started. Hear that test tube, Jackie? It's the cosmic rays. I warned you about them, and here they come.
They're penetrating the ship as if it weren't even there. But I don't feel anything.
Naturally, Sue. They're only rays of light, but they'll affect us just the same. I only wish I knew how.
My head? It's pounding like it's ready to bust.
You were right, Ben. We should have waited. Gotten heavier shielding.
Now you tell me.
Johnny, what's wrong? What's happening to you?
I don't know, Sis. My body feels hot, like it's on fire, like I was burning up.
Hey, listen to me. Somebody else take the controls. I can't cut it anymore. My arms, my whole body, too heavy. Can't move. Gotta lie down, just for a little while. Lucky for us, old Reed had fixed the ship up with an automatic pilot. Of course, when we came back down again, we didn't exactly make a three-point landing. Leastways, nobody was hurt. Though at least not so as it showed right away.
You mean we're all alive?
It was close, Johnny, but we made it.
But Reed, after all your work, your dedication, we failed.
What'd you expect, lady?
We still have to see whether those cosmic rays affected us in any way.
Oh, Reed, I think they did. I suddenly feel so strange.
Susan, look at Sue.
What's wrong?
You're fading away.
Oh, no!
It isn't possible.
Somehow the cosmic rays must have altered your atomic structure, making you become invisible.
Sis, I can't see you at all anymore.
How long will it last?
There's no way of knowing, Sue. No way.
Wait, now, I see her.
I'm myself again. It happened so suddenly, all by itself.
Oh, thank heaven you're all right again, my darling.
All right? How do you know, wise guy? How do you know any of us is all right?
Ben, I'm sick and tired of your insults. You're complaining.
And I'm sick of you, period. In fact, I'm gonna paste you one, right in that smug kiss of yours.
Ben, stop. Look what's happening to you. You're changing.
This is one time you don't talk your way out of it, mister. I'm gonna mop up the place with you, and I mean now.
Reed, darling, run! Ben's turned into some sort of thing. He's strong as an ox.
Reed, darling. My God. Look out! Here I come. Hey.
Oh, no, you don't. You've had this coming to you for a long time, Ben. And now you're going to... What am I doing? What's happened to me? What's happened to all of us?
You tell me, then we'll both know.
You've turned into monsters, both of you. It's those rays, those cosmic rays. And now something's happening to me, too. Now I know why I've been feeling so warm. Look at me. All I did was get excited, and my whole body's starting to catch fire. I'm like that old-time comic book hero, the Human Torch. I'm lighter than air. I can even fly.
By the time Johnny figured out how to control his flame power enough to land, he could say what all of us was thinking.
We've changed somehow. We're more than just human.
Yeah, for or maybe less. But it was Reed, Natch, who took charge.
Listen to me, all of you. We have powers now, like Johnny said. Superhuman powers. More power than anyone has ever possessed before.
We can all read you like a book. You're gonna tell us we gotta use that power to help humanity or something, ain't you?
I might have phrased it differently, old friend, but you're right. We'll need code names. Immodest as it may sound, mine will be Mr. Fantastic.
I've already named myself the Human Torch. And I'm with you all the way, Reed.
The same goes for the Invisible Girl.
One hand is still missing. Ben?
I ain't Ben Grimm anymore. I'm what Susie called me, the Thing. But I'll try to put up with the rest of you, as long as you can stand me. The rest, like they say, is history. Because that was the day when the Fantastic Four was born. And from that time on, nothing was ever going to be quite the same again. Yeah, especially us. Nuts. I've done enough rehashing to last me a lifetime. But none of this is helping Alicia any, or me either. It's funny, though, about the very first bad guy the Fantastic Four tangled with. None other than the Mole Man. He was blind, too. I can see it like it was yesterday. That big, creepy chamber underneath Monster Island. Actually, it was Reed and the Torch who ran into him first. I stumbled in just in time.
So, you have never before heard of the Mole Man, eh?
Should we have?
No matter at all. Soon the world shall hear of me when I have the entire planet in my merciless grasp.
Whoever you are, how did you get down here? And what kind of place is this?
Listen and grow wise. It all started long ago because the people of the surface world mocked me.
What? Me go out with you? Don't make me laugh.
It has been said that hell is other people. Whether or not this is a universal truth.
Yes, I know you're qualified to work here, but you'd scare our other employees away.
It was so for me.
Hey, fella, is that your face? Are you wearing a mask? No offense.
Finally, I could stand it no longer, and I began a lifelong search for a new place, a better place. Searching, must keep searching. And then, one day, I was washed ashore on Monster Isle, and that strange cavern. Where can it lead to? Soon I saw where it led, to the land of my dreams. Down there, below, I found it, the legendary kingdom at Earth's center. But in the dread silence of that huge cavern, the sudden shock of my outcry caused a violent avalanche, and when it was over, I had somehow miraculously survived, but had lost most of my sight. I found the center of the earth, but I'm stranded here like a human mole. I mastered the strange creatures which live down here, made them do my bidding, and with their help, I carved out an underground empire.
What good's it do you, if you can't see it? Come back with us, and maybe we could help you.
Witless stripling, do you think I need your help? Here, try to strike me with that pole. Ah, I sense that coming. I have developed a natural radar sense, a warning system which allows me to evade any danger. Compared to the Mole Man, you are slow, clumsy.
Hold still, blast you!
Yes, I shall hold still, my young friend, long enough to do this. Now, before I slay you both, behold my master plan. Each of these indicated tunnels lead to a major city. I shall destroy everything that lives above.
Mark Grimm's #1 son had heard enough. I came on like gangbusters.
Who in the name of...
If you gotta pin labels on people, Charlie, just call me the ever-loving, blue-eyed Thing. And the next thing I knew, something came crawling up from below. Something that made Godzilla look like a blamed tadpole. Holy cow! I could have fought him off. But when the rest of the crew came, bounding at us, like rejects from Creature Features, we decided to take it on the lam. After which Johnny let fly with a fire blast that buried the whole kit and caboodle. By rights, that should have been the last we saw of Moley. But he's popped up a dozen times since then. And the last time was the worst of them all. I remember old Stretch had bought us this weirdo house that was just sitting out in the middle of the woods. And no wonder it was. It was bait. The big fat worm on the end of the mole man's hook. He nearly wasted us that time, too. The whole house gave off some kind of rays that made us all blind.
This is the moment I have prayed for, planned for, since first you four foiled my best laid schemes.
Sue, where are you, darling? I can't see.
None of us can, Reed.
That was probably the Fantastic Four's greatest fight yet.
Now for the final blow, the coup de grace, as it were.
Then Susie made her move.
Your glasses, I have them.
No, you mustn't. My eyes, sensitive. I need their protection.
Then suddenly the lights came on again for all of us. I can see again. What happened?
We must have broken that blindness ray gadget. One thing's for sure, Ben. He won't ever use that against us again.
You ruined me. Ruined my greatest plan.
Somehow old Moley escaped down his blasted drop tube in the middle of the house. Next thing we knew, he blew up the whole place. Blame near took us with it. Guess he's back in that place he calls Subterranea now, and he can have it. Sheesh, I've been carrying on a regular talk show with myself, and I don't know why. It's like I've been trying to tell myself something, make myself notice something I missed before. Well, maybe I'm blind myself, but I sure don't... Blind? Sure, that's it. Why didn't I think of it before? All those powers of Moley's, enough to make us all blind, then cure us again. A guy with powers like that might be able to help Alicia see again. And if he does, I'll make him use them to help her. Or I'll pull his two-bit kingdom down around his ears. What's more, I know how to reach him. Through what's left of that nutty house of his.
You're just the man I want to see, mister.
Our Lilton landlord. Evict any poor widows lately, Collins?
Don't try to soft-soap me, you misshapen savage. I know you caused a tremor that just shook the whole building, and I'm warning you.
No, buddy boy. I'm warning you. Keep out of my way.
Wait! Let me down, and we'll discuss this like civilized men.
Oh, me? I'm just a misshapen savage, remember? Besides, I got me a date at the center of the earth. Tell the gang I'll be home for supper with a guest, or else I won't be home at all.
Good luck. Who knows what will happen at the center of the earth? But whatever it is, the Fantastic Four will face it together.
Power Records presents Captain America and the Falcon in And a Phoenix Shall Arise. Captain America and the Falcon on night patrol.
Cap. Hey, Cap. What's with you, partner? You're moping around like you just lost your last friend. You technically ain't. Not while I'm around.
What? You'll have to run that by again, Sam. I'm a bit slow on the uptake this evening. Some nights it just gets worse than others, that's all. Some nights it just gets worse.
Worse? What gets worse, Cap? Now, I'm the one who doesn't follow.
I can't shake it tonight. The feeling that I'm a walking anachronism. A guy who looks like he's 20, even though he was fighting Hitler's horde some 30 years ago.
Huh? Now, what made that old bugaboo creep up on you all over again?
A lot of things, maybe, all adding up. I guess it started when I fought the madman who took my place during the 50s.
Okay. So you were on ice for 20 years. But why pick tonight for this out-of-my-time jazz to get you down?
I don't know. It's just a feeling I've got. Like something's about to happen, but I don't know what.
Frankly, Shield Slinger, we don't know either. But we'll all find out together. Now.
Falcon, duck! Ah, that's what I call cutting it close. You okay, old buddy?
Feeling no pain. Not yet, anyhow. But if that big bang had come 1 inch nearer, what was it, anyhow? Some kind of ray?
Sure looks like it. We're both lucky it didn't.
Luck. Had nothing to do with it, fool.
Cap, look, up there.
I see, Falk. I see.
Do you? Do you really? Then know that your treacherous eyes gaze upon the face and form of the Phoenix. Know, too, that you'll not escape my vengeance.
Vengeance? Is that dressed to kill dude an old sparring partner of yours, Cap?
Negative, chum. I thought he was one of yours.
Such wit in the face of adversity is admirable, but futile. Feel the fury of the Phoenix now!
I'll keep him occupied, Falcon. You get moving. On the double.
But even as laser-like beams blast still another hole in the crumbling rooftop, Sam Wilson's ever-alert mind is already light years ahead of his fast-churning feet.
Go like a bat, Red Wing. Don't know why I'm bothering to run. It doesn't take an instant replay to see what that maniac is up to. Namely, he's firing just in camp. As far as he's concerned, I'm not even here. Well, I don't know who that cat is, or why he's got a hate on for Cap, but I sure aim to find out.
So, Birdman, you sneaked up on me from behind. Precisely the kind of tactics I should have expected from you.
Save a conversation, 'cause I'm not behind you now, flame face.
Out of my way, fool! This is good enough for you. As for you, my red, white, and blue foe, I've no desire to kill you. Not right now. Not when I can make you suffer all the more by slaying the one you call the Falcon.
Sam's stunned. No way to reach them in time.
So watch, my friend, watch and grieve. Eh? My weapons charge. Exhausted? Then your just deserts must wait, Captain America, until we meet again. Perhaps tomorrow.
I'll be waiting, mister. He's agile, I'll say that for him. I've been known to do a little rooftop leaping myself, in the approved superhero manner. Hope it'll do me some good against the so-called Phoenix. You all right, Sam?
You must be getting tired of asking that question, Cap. One thing's clear, though. Namely, that I'm getting to be a real drag in the masked sidekick department. I wound up being nothing more than a hostage. If I hadn't been here...
That madman could still have picked me off. He just didn't want to, that's all.
Okay, you made your point. Now what? Had any second thoughts about who that might have been?
Not yet. I've had a lot of enemies in my day, though. And you can bet your beak I'm going to spend the next 24 hours going over the list. Maybe the Phoenix was just tossing me a red herring to keep me from guessing who he really is. But his taunts are the only lead I've got. Only thing is, Captain America's got more arch-enemies than most people have relatives. Power-mad killers like the Red Skull. I thought he took the plunge a few months ago. But can I truly be sure he's dead? One thing certain anyway, it can't be Baron Zemo. He was a holdover from the big war, too. But a rock slide finished him off several years back. I ought to know. I buried him. Maybe the Viper. Dr. Faustus. Even Solar. Wonder if it could be Solar. That death ray of his. It's possible. Not likely, though. Why would he use a rifle instead of his own sun-powered superpowers? There's only one way to learn the secret of the Phoenix, and that's by building a better mousetrap. With one slightly used defrosted shield slinger as bait. Been out for hours now, though, and no sign of...
Hold up there, Cap. Me and Red Wing thought we'd come keep you company if you don't mind.
As a matter of fact, I do mind.
Huh? What's with you, partner? I just thought...
Look, I was going to go easy on you, not to hurt your feelings. But since you asked, I'll give it to you straight. I've been thinking about some of the things you said last night, and I've decided you are right the first time. The time you could have given me a helping hand was then, and you blew it. So go play with your pet birdie somewhere else, okay? Like the lady said, I want to be alone.
Okay, partner. Any way you want to play it. You want alone, you got it.
I really hated to play that little number on Sam. Wow! But that Phoenix character wants me pretty bad, and I won't risk the Falcon catching one that's meant for Captain America. I've had a lot of partners in my time, and sometimes I think I've caused them a lot of grief. Those brave people putting their lives on the line for me. I'd better get back to business now, though, because if the Phoenix is still gunning for me, he can't help but see me up here.
Captain America in Times Square. And Mom told me New York was no place to go for my vacation. He's gorgeous.
He's still around?
Are you kidding, mister? In my book, Cap's the greatest.
Funny, I don't seem to get a kick out of the crowds the way I used to. I'd better keep looking. No sign of Phoenix, so it's time to hit the road.
But though Cap searches everywhere, he finds nothing until...
Hey, Dirt! That guy must have run into something to muss him up like that, and that something may be the Phoenix.
He's after me. I've got to get away.
Easy, fella. You can relax now.
Captain America! Oh, thank God.
What happened to you?
Some costume nut with a ray gun just tried to kill me. He was raving mad, Cap. Said he knew I was you in disguise, that I couldn't escape his vengeance.
That sounds like my man, all right.
He was in the alley. That's him.
It is Phoenix. And if he is as bananas as you say, I'm not taking any chances. It's not the real Phoenix. It's a robot. But that means... Oh! Some kind of gas. It's filling my lungs, burning them. I can't get any air.
It worked. Once more, Captain America's helpless before the power of the Phoenix. But this time, you star-spangled swine, you will not escape me. This dirty little alley is your final battlefield. Let that thought penetrate your oxygen-starved brain, Captain America.
But why? Why?
Why? When you've suffered as much as I have, you living relic, then you can ask that question, and the answer will come in the searing blast of my death ray.
Who are you?
Blackness descends. When Captain America opens his eyes next,
You recovered from the gas far sooner than I had expected, Captain America. But still, not soon enough to save yourself. The chains, of course, are far too strong for even you to snap.
What's behind all this, Phoenix? What madman's grudge do you have against me?
I would have thought my identity would have become obvious to you, Captain. My namesake, the spirit bird of legend that rises from the ashes of its own destruction to live anew. The death ray I used to lure you into my trap. The boiling substance in the vat below you. Or don't you recognize that substance? Adhesive X.
Adhesive X! It can't be. The villain who invented it died years ago. There's no way he could have survived. And you're years younger than he was.
Of course I am, you fool. Because the man you call a villain was my father, Baron Zemo. The man you destroyed. What do you really know of the man you murdered, Captain? You hated him for his work on behalf of the Nazis. But my mother and I, we loved him. He was a brilliant man, working tirelessly for the cause of the Third Reich. And you Americans condemned him for this. And when he invented a marvelous laser device, your papers called it a death ray and started an insidious propaganda campaign against its inventor. I remember it clearly, even today. The campaign worked. My father became the most hated man in Germany and had to wear a mask to conceal his face from those who would harm him. He was wearing it the day that you attacked him. He had just developed Adhesive X, the most powerful adhesive ever invented. Once applied, nothing could remove it. You were determined to rob the Reich of that discovery. Your shield crashed through the adhesive tank, spilling its contents. And in destroying the invention, you also destroyed the inventor. For the cursed mask he was forced to wear had become permanently fixed to his face, never to be removed. And that drove my father mad. Madness changed him. He even took his hatred out on his family. Then he left us, disappeared. Soon afterward, my mother died. Oh, I survived, but I was plagued by a burning hatred for one man, you. Then one day, I saw my chance. I returned to Castle Zemo. There, surrounded by my father's greatest achievements, I was determined to recreate his two greatest inventions, Adhesive X and the Death Ray, and use them to destroy Captain America. And as you doubtless noticed, my dear Captain, I succeeded admirably.
Give it up, son. You don't really want to continue a battle that should have ended 25 years ago, do you?
Do you think a flowery speech will stop me now? You killed my father, and you're going to die for it in a boiling vat of Adhesive X.
Want to rephrase that, sauerkraut?
The Falcon.
Good guess, Tucson.
The name of your destroyer is Phoenix.
Same difference. They're both in Arizona.
Falcon, I left you back in the city. How did you manage to locate me here?
Come on, You didn't really expect me to fall for that I want to be alone routine, did you? I put a certified shield tracer on your own grand old shield. Uh-oh, I think I'm gonna be busy.
Prepare to die, you flunky!
Not that time, Archie.
You can't escape my way for long, Falcon. You shall join Captain America in death. What? The accursed bird?
Looks like Brother Red Wing has given me all the opening I need to put Son of Frankenstein away for keeps. You don't know it, man, but you're just what the Doc ordered. I needed something to prove that my partnership with Cap was still a good idea. And, baby, you're it!
Falcon, ease up on him. He's not a real villain. Just a misguided fool still fighting World War II. It's no use. Sam can't hear me, but I can't let him injure the Phoenix. The war took too many lives, left too many hatreds unhealed. I can't let it go on. I've got to use all my strength as never before. Got to keep pulling and pulling until... Have to make it to the balcony. I'm only going to get this one chance.
Oof! What's the matter with you, Cap? You want that nut to get away?
Locking him up isn't the answer to 25 years of blind hatred. We've got to try to reason with him.
While those fools are arguing, they've given me the opportunity to finish them off once and for all with Captain America's own shield. Turning your back on me was unforgivably stupid, Captain America!
What? Don't be a fool, man. You don't know how to use my shield. You could...
He ain't fired it, Cap!
Guide my hand, my father, as I avenge your death!
Missed, but just by a hair!
But now it's heading back at the Phoenix. Dear God, I've got to try to save him.
It's too late, Cap. Too late.
The big war just claimed another victim, Sam, and I couldn't save him.
Come on, Steve. It wasn't your fault.
Wasn't it, Sam? The Avengers revived more than an out-of-sync soldier when they freed me from that iceberg.
What do you mean, Steve?
They revived a whole generation's hatreds. Hatreds that should have been left frozen a quarter of a century ago. Say it again, Sam. Say it isn't my fault. Maybe the second time, I'll believe it.
Goodbye, Captain America. Till we meet again.